going to talk about the new October 21st or 12th? 12. Okay. Some controversy. So on the 12th, Naara is going to be launched. Naara. You guys got it. Okay. Perfect. Because it is a Brazilian word. It's a word in Portuguese. So if you say it perfectly, you're going to like, people from Portuguese or from Brazil are going to go, whoa. They know how to say it right. I'm not saying Naara. It's not how you say it. Okay, so we've talked about, you might not have heard me before, but we have talked about how it fits into the youth enhancement system. And this, as you can see, is the youth enhancement system for Malaysia, okay? But other countries obviously have other products, and all of them are coming everywhere soon. That is the goal. So, Naara is truly where science meets nature, because it is a natural product, okay? But it has a lot of scientific background. Just real quick, one thing Keith, are you still in this room? Or somebody?
He just left.
Oh, do you know how long we have? 1 hour, 45, which one? 1 hour or 45 minutes?
1 hour.
1 hour, okay. Okay, all right, so we can do this. Now, why do we want to take collagen? Why do we care? Well, here's really why. Because collagen is up to 70% of all of the protein in the skin. So that's very key. If it makes up most of the structural part of your skin, you need to have it healthy. And here's the problem. It also makes up, it's not a problem, but it also makes up a lot of your hair and nails. It makes our skin strong and elastic. That bounce back that very young people have, including babies, they have their skin just sort of bounces back. That's from collagen. And the strength also helps with the growth, because if your hair or your nails don't keep breaking off because they're weak, then they're able to grow longer. Okay. I'm going back because it looks a little out of focus, but I think it's because it was meant for a wider screen. Okay. I know those are a little hard to read, but they're this similar to what's on the other side. So in younger skin, you have your top layers of skin cells. Then you have your dermis, your deeper layers of skin. But here's the thing. I don't have a, do I have one? Do you think? Oh, no. Oh, yeah, you're right. There we go. Okay, so here's where the collagen really comes into play. Do you see this cross hatching? That's collagen. And without it, when it starts to break down, yeah, that's what happens. And you can see if that breaks down, it doesn't hold up, sort of like the foundation of a building. If it doesn't hold up the skin and the cells above it, that's when you get wrinkles, okay? And then here, it's the only place probably in our body that we want fat. We want fat in that deep layer of skin, because again, that also gives the skin that youthful appearance. So you don't want the fat cells to become sparse. Okay? So again, what happens, however, so I just showed you the youthful skin and aging skin and the difference. Well, here's what happened as years go on. I don't like to say aging, I mean, we say it, but I'd rather not say aging, I'd rather just say when the years go on, because just because the years go on, we don't have to age. We can help with that process. We can have the years go on, and biologically, we can stay very similar if we do what makes sense and what helps the body. So here's what helps the body. This is collagen and elastin, Collagen is needed to make elastin. Elastin is that springy protein, okay? So you can see right about here, we're getting depletion. And this is the amount of collagen, and it just keeps going down, 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 down. That's not what we want. So clearly we have a need for more collagen. We're just not making the amount of collagen. We don't have the building blocks anymore that we had when we were younger. So this is why consuming collagen, and a good kind of collagen, is really important for decreasing the appearance of fine lines and wrinkles, increasing the appearance of more elasticity in the skin and more moisture in the skin. So there it is. When you have decreased collagen, it equals wrinkles, decreased elasticity, loss of moisture, decreased strength of hair and nails. That's what we don't want. Now, what makes different collagens special? Because this is kind of important. Because if you go online or even go into a store, you're going to find collagen products because they're very popular. But there's a difference in collagen products, and of course, Y.E.S has some of the best collagen products because we look for the source of collagen that is the most bioavailable. What do I mean by bioavailable? I mean our bodies can absorb it. Our bodies can actually take it in and do something with it. Because if you have something that's not bioavailable or very little bioavailable, all that happens is you consume it and it leaves. Okay? It doesn't actually do anything in your body. So, collagen molecules in general, no matter what the source is, they're big. They're big molecules. And so it takes a lot of processing by our body to get them where they're broken down enough that they can be absorbed. But what if that process was done before we eat it, before we drink it in the very delicious drinks that we have in our Naara? With water extraction process, we're not using any chemicals in extraction. We're taking water, well, we aren't, but the manufacturer is. They're taking water and they're cleaving the collagen. So you go from this giant molecule to these molecules, okay? So they're not too big to be absorbed anymore, but we can even do better. Now, we take specific enzymes, and enzymes, their purpose is to kind of digest things and break them down, right? That's why we have digestive enzymes. So these enzymes then take these big, long, whoopsie, sorry. Go back. I am going back, right? Okay. These specific enzymes cleave these long molecules that were made from this giant molecule into smaller bioactive collagen peptides. What does that mean? Bioactive collagen peptides. It means, again, they're bioavailable, so they can be absorbed more easily and actually do their job that we're asking them to do. And now they're not this big giant protein, they are peptides. So here's how it goes. Protein is the big molecule. You saw it, right? And it even has molecules attached to molecules. When you then hydrolyze it, break it down with water, you get smaller molecules of protein. Then when you use the specific enzymes, you get bioactive peptides. What is a peptide? It's small little sections of the amino acids that make up the protein. And then, if you go all the way down to, like, for example, a Zen Fit, now you have the individual amino acids. Okay? But with collagen, that's not as helpful. With collagen, as different than muscle, which is what the Zen Fit is designed for, with collagen, you really need the peptides, the small little amino acids linked together. So if you think of these little balls as amino acids, they're linked together this way, okay? Verisol is one of the collagen sources that we use in Naara, because there are different, different governments have different regulations, and different regulations kind of make it so that we have, and we have to follow them, make it so that we have some of the products are slightly different, but they all have the same benefits, and that's key, because there is multiple ways to get to the desired benefit of bioactive peptides, of these peptides that your body can now use and go with the skin, the hair, and the nails. So the particular collagen here is Verisol. It's called Verisol. There's that sequence of amino acids. Remember I said they were linked together from 3 to 20. And all that is there for 2 kilodaltons just means very small. Just substitute this for very small. Okay? I put the actual number in because there are certain people in this room, like maybe user, that would want to know exactly what. So I wanted to make sure everybody has their information, but equals very small. And again, very small so that we can absorb them and actually let them work. So, we don't just have collagen in our product. We put in vitamins, minerals, and even fruit extracts that support or enhance the ability of the collagen to do its job that we're trying to have it do. Beauty from the inside out. Because remember Y.E.S, beauty from the outside in. Collagen, Naara, beauty from the inside out. So, vitamin C, essential role in making collagen in our skin, as opposed to, we don't want the collagen outside of us. It doesn't matter what's in the jar or in the packet. What matters is what does our body do with it, and making collagen is one of the things you need to do. So there is clinical, I'm putting this here to let you know there is clinical evidence of why we use the certain vitamins and minerals that we do use. We don't use them all, but what we do use has clinical evidence of why it would work. That's also key, because if you have a very detailed person or a person who's just they just want to know everything, you can say, well, there is clinical evidence or studies that show the vitamins and minerals we use, it's on purpose, because you can see study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition showed that higher vitamin C intakes were associated with a lower likelihood of wrinkled appearance because it supports the absorption of collagen, right? So that's why we put vitamin C in there. We put biotin, or vitamin B7. It's a cofactor. What does that mean? It means that the enzymes, the molecules that make reactions happen or digest things, won't work without something called a cofactor. You need the cofactor for the whole process to work. So it is a cofactor for various enzymes. And that's important, again, in making the collagen back in our skin, hair, or nails. There you go. It's a positive clinical picture, again, scientifically backed. That's always with Y.E.S products. And not everybody can say that. And that's one of our big edges across the board in our product line. Vitamin E, okay? Again, you've got minerals will return to normal with supplementation. That says a lot. B6, B12, niacin promotes healthy skin. Why? Because it helps the formation of collagen. Pantothenic acid, that really makes a difference in the hair. The hair bulb is the hair follicle. Okay? And let me just give you a quick thing of how everything all synergizes together. In the bottom of the bulb, the base of the hair follicle, you have hair stem cells. Topically, that's what RVL makes a difference for. And also internally, that's what Revita Blue makes a difference for. Okay? So, because it releases our own adult stem cells, so that they can go to where we need them to go. And one of the places we might need them to go is to the hair or the hair follicle. Now, remember I said fruit extracts also? Because we've shown, there are studies to show that so many of these fruit extracts make a difference in healthy hair, healthy nails, and healthy skin, and quite frankly, good-looking skin, young-looking skin, okay? Mostly, though, healthy skin is good-looking skin. It's one of the few body parts, because it is a body part, right? It's the largest organ in the body, right? Everybody knows that. It's one of the few body parts that, if you look at it, you can see the health of the overall organ itself. Can't take out your heart and say, look how healthy my heart is. Can't really do that, right? You could have problems and not even realize it, which is again why some of our products work to help everything do better, even though you may not know you need it to do anything, okay? So, no artificial colors, no artificial flavors or sweeteners, naturally sweetened with coconut water and the power of Lohan Go. So, there might be a slight difference in different countries and what it's sweetened with, but there will not be artificial sweeteners in the product. So no yellow stuff, that's Splenda by the way, not natural. No blue stuff, no pink stuff, okay? None of those are allowed. Okay, so here are some of the studies that they've done with the Verisol collagen. They took 69 women, 35 to 55, and they showed that after 4 weeks of taking the collagen, and this is just their collagen alone, this isn't even with our vitamins and our minerals, because this isn't Naara, this is just the collagen. Can you imagine when you add all the other things to make everything work better? They had higher elasticity up to 15% in just 4 weeks. That is huge. That is really huge, and it's a very small amount. Also, don't get concerned about maybe some different amounts of the collagen that are in different countries. It's all done with the amount that that particular type of collagen shows is working. It shows from their studies makes a difference. Verisol, you only need a very small amount. By the way, it is halal. Okay? So you only need a very small amount. You only need 2.5 grams of Verisol a day to show all of these results. 4 weeks, decrease in wrinkles, increase in pro-collagen. Now what does that mean? That means before it becomes actual collagen, it becomes a molecule called pro-collagen. Like it's almost collagen, but it needs another couple of steps to be developed into the full collagen. 60%. This is huge. 4 weeks, that's nothing. Usually, and almost always, think of natural products, especially ones that are consumed and even topical. You need 90 days to make a true biological difference. 3 months. And these studies are showing results after 4 weeks. So there you go. Same thing. Okay, this is just a visual of similar things. So when you have, this is a collagen fiber, when you have collagen that is from a person at least over 30 without any like added benefit. They don't get to take AM/PM, they don't get to take Provida Blue, they don't get to take Naara, certainly. So no collagen, that's how much, here it is. This is the little green thing. That's how much new collagen that they would be making. This is how much new collagen they would be making, much more, when you get that Verisol, that collagen inside the body. So the body is just able to make more, and they can even show it on pictures. Yeah. Oh. Okay. And that's supposed to show a line. I don't know what happened to it. It's supposed to show a line to Naara. Because again, if you have, to show the synergy, if you have more stem cells in your circulation, because the botanicals and Revita Blue, that's what they do. You did a very good summary on that. Yes, you did. And those stem cells in circulation can become virtually any cell on the body. Depends on what your body needs the most. Well, maybe your body needs some skin rejuvenation. Your body will know. And your body will send those stem cells. Well, you can do skin rejuvenation without extra collagen around, but it won't be as effective. So now you have the building blocks that the stem cells need, because they can make collagen cells, but now you need the actual proteins, the actual collagen molecules to really build that collagen cell. So that's how they go together. The nail bed. If you all have, you must, okay, how many people have noticed that when they even just take any kind of nutritional supplement, like maybe they started Revita Blue, maybe they started AMPM, maybe they started Reserve, that their nails got stronger and grew faster. Right. And that is true because so much nutrition to the body just shows up that way. And it's not a small thing. You think, oh, I don't really care. I don't grow my nails long anyway. But you should, because it's your body's way of showing you that you're very healthy when that happens. And that is a sign of increased health when that happens. They did studies on nails in particular, and they showed that you have decreased the cracked or the chipped after 2 months of using the collagen, and you had a decrease of 42%. That is huge. The studies usually show things like 5%, 10%, 42% after 6 months, you're gonna drink it anyway. Isn't it cool that it keeps on having a positive benefit effect? It's not like, oh, here's your effect of 1 month and then that's it. It doesn't work that way because it works from a very cellular level, just like all the Y.E.S products. Here's another one showing after 3 months, the speed of how fast the nails grow seems to be just ramping up. Again, not a benefit of just a month, but a benefit after continuing to take it. Because then that answers the question that I know you don't have, but maybe some of your customers or distributors have, which is, so it seemed to have done good benefit. Do I have to keep taking it? Yeah. Right? So you can say there's scientific proof that it keeps on giving you a benefit over the months and months and months. And probably if they kept studying it, but takes even more funding to keep studying for all these months out a certain result. You ever notice that the edges of the nails, they get kind of chipped or they kind of get messed up? That's what the people in the study noticed was decreasing. The edge irregularity was decreasing and the nails weren't peeling as much anymore. 80% of that's a lot. 80%, wouldn't it be great if 80% of your distributors and customers loved everything? That would make life a lot easier, right? But they're pickier sometimes, or they just want your attention. So that's fine. 80% of the participants were completely satisfied with the collagen, and 75% noticed that their nails were long. I mean, remember, when you're measuring nail growth, it's very, very little. It's not like it's this much longer in a month. Nails, even when they're growing fast, still are only growing by millimeters, right? So the fact that people can perceive or tell that there's a difference really says a lot. 85% of the global, so here's something that is also really huge with Verisol collagen. It's a nasty word, that cellular word. And it's not just women, by the way. Remember, I had a medical practice. So men would come in and go, I didn't think I was supposed to get this. And they would go like this. And I go, it's a little bit mostly women because of our hormones and our skin is a little thinner and little things like that that make us female, makes us a little more predisposed, but that's not 100%. So males would like this too. 85% of our female population is affected by this. It's not, so if you think it's just you, you're wrong. And mainly it's a matrix problem. By matrix, they mean the cross-linking. Remember I showed you that slide with the cross-linking of the collagen? It's that breaking down. And remember, the fat is underneath that? Well, if that breaks down, the fat kind of bulges through, and so you get that little rippling effect. That's really how it happens. So if you can make that matrix, which is mostly collagen, to be more supportive, you're going to get a better, smoother skin. And of course, if there's excess fat under the skin, it's going to make it worse. So people will notice a decrease in cellulite when they lose fat. You notice I didn't say weight, I said fat. Because if you just lose weight, you could have lost your muscle, and that would make things worse. Okay, you want to lose only extra fat. And you notice I didn't say all fat. Some fat is good. You want to you just don't want the extra fat, okay? So, and along with that comes a little bit of excess fluid, especially for women that are still having menstruation, still in the childbearing years. As you go through your cycle, you know, sometimes you carry more water, sometimes you don't, and that excess water can sometimes contribute to this issue also. So, here is the same concept. If you look at, here it is, do you see how this is kind of ragged? And here you have strong. Now sure, there's still a little bit of ragged, but it's much stronger in through the actual, see how there's all this black? And now the black is filled in with colors? That's because the collagen is rebuilding that strand. So it supports that matrix that I showed you in just regular skin underneath your face. Whoops, sorry. Go back. Go back. There we go. And as we noticed before, it's a direct stimulation or help to that whole system. That includes decreasing the appearance of the wrinkles in your face and also decreasing cellulite anywhere else, if you have that. I showed you that before. So again, dermal density. By that, I mean that part that has the crosshatches. That's your dermis. So if you increase that density, that becomes stronger. That becomes more supportive. And again, that structure, if it's more supportive, decrease the appearance of wrinkles, decrease the appearance of cellulite. Pretty good combo. I like that. And again, just showing waviness after 6 months. So this was just before. Now after 6 months, that waviness appearance decreased. That's what I just said. And it was even more pronounced after 6 months. Again, that whole concept of this keeps on helping, this keeps on working. This isn't well, Instantly Ageless is an amazing product, right? Yeah? But it doesn't get more effective as you use it more, unless of course you're using Luminesce, and then it gets more effective just because you have less appearance of the wrinkles in the bags. So this is a different kind of product than an Instantly Ageless, but it has amazing benefits. Okay, so this was just to show you something called BMI. You can look up, I wrote that It's a little long, but take a picture of it. I wrote that link because with that link, you can get the little, just a little calculation to do your BMI. And you can see, okay, so do we need to go also to the Zen Body, presentations and understand how that system works to decrease our BMI so that it's less than 25? And or is that fine, because you're between 18 and 24, but it's the collagen, it's the matrix that we really need to look at. So I wanted to make sure that I gave you the whole picture on getting rid of cellulite. Because we don't really have it. Okay, so we know can reduce the signs of cellulite. Vitamin A, beta carotene, vitamin C, E, also works as antioxidants. And if you decrease the free radical attack on your skin, you will help the skin not to age. Supports healthy nails, hair, improve that elasticity, again, because it's building the collagen, and elastin is one of those molecules. You get that bounce back. Baby skin, you pinch the cheek and it's like you didn't even pinch it, okay? So, also increasing moisture is important, because if your skin gets very dried out or very dehydrated, it's not going to look its best either. And it's also not as healthy. Your skin, your body, your nails, your muscles, they need water. So if you don't like, how many of you here don't like the taste of water? Oh, wow. You guys are amazing. So everybody here drinks just water?
Yes.
Woo! Okay. I was going to tell you, you get water when you put the sachet or the stick pack of Naara in water. That's good. You get water when you drink Bravada Blue, and you get water when you drink Zen Fit. So it's a way to get more water that has a little bit of flavor. Okay? Okay. Appearance and skin aging appears to be delayed. See, because you can't really say it doesn't happen because they don't let us. But you can say delayed. Delayed is good for me. Did you hear, how many of you here heard, I loved it, Dr. Amslog's thing about the Indian summer?
Yes.
Did you hear that? It was a neat way to think of it. It's like you're adding a whole season, so to speak, of your life, of your youthfulness. And that goes with your skin. So, that is all about, that's more details than you'll ever want to know. But now, when somebody asks you, you don't have to give them the details, but you can tell them, these details are available. These studies have been done. It's not just an opinion. And that, along with your testimonial of what you have seen or felt that it's done for you, puts everything together. Don't forget to tell people what happened to you, which is why it's so important to be a product of the product. How am I doing on time?
Yes.
Good? Okay. Thank you.
So we have prepared a Q&A, so we have
Okay.
collected all the questions. Perhaps Dr. can have a drink. Yeah. So Rihanna, come.
Good morning, doctor.
Good morning.
All right.
What is your name again?
Rihanna.
Rihanna. Okay.
Okay. So the first question, I think they can get from the answer from the slideshow just now, because the first question is how long we can see the effect after consuming the collagen.
Okay.
So,
So basically, the first effects will be, should be, I should say, everybody's different, that's what's the studies, should be able to be noticed in 4 weeks. But you'll keep noticing more and more as more time goes on, as we've seen. Remember to take a before picture. If you don't take a before picture, you might not see it as clearly. I remember, this was like 2011, okay? There was a young lady, I thought she was in her 20s, but she wasn't. She was actually 41. And she came up to me and she said, look at my face, look at my face. She had been putting Luminesce, because there was no Naara yet. So she had been putting Luminesce just on one side of her face. And, you know, somebody says, look at my face, it's kind of embarrassing to like study somebody's skin. You don't go up to somebody and say, hey, how you doing? You don't do that, right? You look them in the eye. You don't like, how many wrinkles are coming from your eye? You don't do that. So she asked me to do that though, so okay, I started looking. And she said, so guess which side? So I really started, but at first I thought, oh, they're the same. And then I wasn't quite I was a believer from the science part of view, but I just hadn't seen that many testimonials yet, and I was brand new. So she asked me, and I was so amazed. She said, look at the difference here and here. Sure enough, there was a difference. Look at the difference here and here. Sure enough, there was a difference. Now, you can't do that with Naara because you can't just use it on one side of your body. You can just use one side, right? So this is why the before picture is so important. You want to be able to show, and you want to show elasticity, you want to do like a pinch test. You want to show, it kind of has to be a video, but everybody's got video on their phone. That's not like a big deal anymore. So you want to do like a pinch test to show how quickly the skin bounces back, and you'll see that it kind of bounces back a little faster after you've been using Naara for a while. Next.
All right. The second question is, why the gynae inform those pre-menopause not to take collagen? There's some, for the doctor, gynae, some of them are advised for those people like pre-menopause, like the period is almost
You
stopped.
mean like all women that can have children? That's premenopausal women. So they're saying, some physician is saying that all women that can still have children, they shouldn't take collagen?
No, for those like the women like almost menopause, like
Oh, right around
Yeah,
menopause.
yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
well that's a lot of women too. Okay, they shouldn't take collagen.
yeah,
Did they
from-
give a
from the
reason?
doctor- from the doctor advice.
Did they give a reason?
There's a question by Y.E.S.
Yeah, the doctor say it might become as toxic. It's on the pre-menopause women.
Why? And did they say why?
They didn't say why.
They
They
didn't say why. Of course not.
just give.
So.
better don't. That's why I went.
Okay, that's a good question. So if somebody told you that, I can tell you that from my personal professional opinion, I have not seen any scientific evidence, but I will go search harder now. But I have never seen any scientific evidence why people, women around menopause would not want to take collagen. If anything, wow, that's like a good time to take it if you now know about it. Because after menopause actually happens, and during that, around the time period, your hormone levels are dropping. They haven't dropped yet, but they're dropping. You don't make as good collagen. That's one of the reasons why, you saw that graph, why it goes down.
Yeah.
So I don't know why, because that's why I asked, did they say why? But they didn't say why. So I will scour the research. But anything I've ever seen thus far, it's never said anything like that. So I don't know, but I will for sure find out, and I will tell Risa or Keith the answer I find out, okay?
Right.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
We have 7 more.
I'm just getting a piece of paper, because if I don't write it down.
Okay, there's a 7 questions.
And it's not just because there's time passing. I don't want to say I'm aging. So it's not just because there's time passing. I never could remember things unless I wrote them down. So that's just me, okay?
Alright. Then my third question.
Yes.
Okay. What is the difference with our collagen compared to another company product outside?
Oh, okay. So, like we showed you, it's the fact that it's hydrolyzed, and it's the fact that it's hydrolyzed and then broken down into bioactive peptides. Did they want me to stand up here? Oh well. It just seems so like over in the corner. So it's because it is broken down and they become bioactive peptides that are more bioavailable to become absorbed, and now your body can use them to make the collagen in your skin, hair, nails, and the rest of your body, because skin is everywhere, right? Not just on your face. Yes?
All right, thank you.
And also the vitamins and the minerals and the fruit extracts. Go ahead.
All
Sorry.
right. Next, okay, we're taking overdose of collagen will lead to fibroid.
Well, okay, one, I'm not sure you can really take an overdose of collagen. If you're taking more than your body can use, it just gets digested like any other protein. Okay, it's like, what would happen if I took an overdose of dinner? You'd have more calories than you need, right? But it wouldn't, except for that, it wouldn't really harm you. Well, same thing here, your body would just digest it. And what was that about? If you took a overdose, which now we know you can't do, what would happen? Oh, would it lead to fibroids? No, fibroids have nothing to do with collagen or building collagen. They're not related in their making.
Okay, the next one is what is the difference between Singapore and Malaysia formula? Is that suitable for those vegetarian?
Is it suitable for what?
Vegetarian?
Vegetarian. As far as I am aware, I'm pretty sure, that the collagen used in Singapore is a smaller stick pack, you might notice.
Yes.
And it's a smaller stick pack because it doesn't have to be a quote-unquote food. So we had to make the Malaysia Naara more food-like so that we could have the government say, yes, it's a food. And that also had us go to Verisol because, again, you only need a very small amount, 2.5 grams. Whereas with the collagen that is in Singapore's formula, which is, they're just from different sources, but that's marine collagen. So it's not vegan because it's from fish, okay? But it is, well, I guess it's not really vegetarian either. So no, because it's from fish. Whereas this collagen is broken down from bovine, but they're both halal. Pretty sure the other one's halal. I know for sure the Malaysian one is halal, okay? So that's the difference, but for example, the marine collagen you need 5 grams. You only need 2.5 of the Verisol for the same kind of results, okay? So that was more beneficial. That's really the only difference. And because it didn't have to be a food, and because the Malaysia one is more of a food, that's why you have that coconut water in there. That gives it that food criteria. And coconut water is good for you, so that's perfectly fine. The Singapore formula doesn't have that because it's just here as, in Singapore, well, yeah, we're here. In Singapore as a supplement. Okay, so that's how they're different, but the benefits are really the same because the marine collagen is also hydrolyzed. Okay, they also have studies, slightly different studies, but they also have studies that pretty much show a similar thing to the Verisol.
All right. The next question is that suitable to take collagen during pregnancy and breastfeeding?
Okay, collagen is basically food, even though, FYI, Malaysia doesn't consider collagen a food, it considers it a supplement. But it is basically a food. However, all supplements, nutritional foods, when you're pregnant and or nursing, you need to consult your treating physician about taking it. Can't imagine that there would be an issue, but I can't possibly know every single person's whole medical history. But your doctor should, and your doctor should have an idea whether, if there would be an issue with collagen. Now, I've never seen, again, in the literature, any issues with breastfeeding or with during pregnancy. But again, each individual is different, so you do have to consult your your obstetrician.
Hold on. Okay, the next one, which is this question, very suitable for me to ask also. Is that after we consume too many collagen will make us easy to put on weight?
Cute. For those of you who didn't see that, it was very cute. No. One, you use that word again, too much. I'm not really sure what too much is. You can take 2 sachets a day, you can take 4 sachets a day. I don't think you really need more than 1 sachet a day because all of those studies were done with 1 sachet a day, the equivalent of what we have in 1 sachet a day. So here's one where you don't need to take more for the same benefits. Certain other products, yeah, take more reserve sometimes, you take more Vita Blue sometimes. They work slightly differently. And absolutely not, except if those few, there are not very many, few extra calories are like over your limit of what you're burning every day, then sure, it'd be like saying, so if I ate too much ice cream, or if I ate too much, even just like a steak, or any calorie over what you're burning, if it's not calorie in, calorie out, but it's extra calories in, then yes, you could possibly put on weight, but it's such a small amount that and you're only eating 1 a day, it's very unlikely.
All right, thank you.
She's like, well, darn, I didn't find a reason.
Not me. Okay, there's 2 more questions to go.
Okay.
What is the best age to start to consume collagen after 18?
Yes.
All right. Okay, yeah.
The best age, when you find out about it and you now have access to Naara, that's the best time to start your collagen. But sure, if you know somebody and they're an adult now, it's never, once you're an adult, it's not really ever too early to start using collagen.
Okay, the last question, which is, I think most of us would like to know the answer. What is the main key point to sell our collagen?
What's the main
Key point. I mean,
key point?
Yeah.
Our unique selling proposition kind of thing?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I would say that it's natural, but science-backed. But now you need to tell somebody what the heck that means. So you can't just like throw that out there and then go, okay. So you want to say the collagen that we use is specially hydrolyzed or broken down into bioactive peptides. You just say that, and they'll be like, whoa, that sounds fancy. So say that term. I don't usually have people say like more fancy terms, but I think that one would impress people, and it's really easy to explain. It just means more easy to absorb and do its job. And you can see there's multiple studies on that collagen that shows that it does really amazing things for our skin, our structure, our hair, our nails. Was that simple enough? You just have a few key points. Okay, and the real one, so you have your before and after picture. And you go, here, this is why ours is different. Because this is what happened to me. Or this is what happened to my downline. Or this is what happened to my upline. Show those pictures, show how you feel, show how your skin feels more elastic. Remember, part of that study was what did all those women in the studies perceive? Like, what did they feel was going on? They did all the measurements to show you, but then they asked, like, could you tell? That's what, could you perceive it? Could you tell? And I think it was like 80%, right? Could perceive it. That's huge. So, there you go.
Okay, one more last question.
Okay, sure.
Okay, so after surgery, for those people that go through for the surgery, so what is the best time for them to start the collagen? And hormone imbalance. Is that suitable to take collagen?
If you have hormone imbalance, are you going to balance them? No, I'm saying, if you have hormone imbalance, I'm thinking you're going to do something about getting them back in balance, right? I know you're talking about menopause, really? Yeah, hormone imbalance, okay. So we're not really talking about is your thyroid low or that kind of hormone. We're talking really about menopause, that kind of hormone imbalance. And some people would say that it's not an imbalance because it's the, quote, natural process. However, if you look at caveman days or cavewoman days, we didn't live this long. We just didn't. And this is why we can kind of outlive our ability to reproduce as women. But that doesn't mean we can't be youthful. That doesn't mean that the Y.E.S or youth enhancement system isn't available to all of us. So if you're going to a physician that is going to help you balance your hormones, great. But that has nothing to do with whether you should start or take Naara. You can start or take Naara no matter what. It's fine. Doesn't affect it either way.
Right. Thank you for Dr. Donna or answer.
Can I just add
Yeah.
to the USP? And correct me if I'm wrong, Dr. Donna.
Okay.
Okay, remember the part where Dr. Donna mentioned, do you remember the length in kilodaltons? How long the hydrolyzed?
I told you he paid attention to that.
You all remember that number?
Yeah.
What is it?
Engineering degrees do you have? 3?
2.0
Two.
kDa.
Well, 3 if you.
Well, see?
That's
3.
right.
Uh-huh.
How many kilodaltons?
2.0.
Do you know what the normal collagen length would be? 45. And if you know with the Malaysian market, most of the products are just normal collagen, not the hydrolyzed collagen. So that is a huge USP.
Absolutely.
Wow.
That's a really good comment. Yeah, that's great. I like that. Okay, I'm putting in my slide presentation. So no, that's really, that's a benefit somebody can see. And also don't forget, you can hydrolyze collagen. So they might say, well, this other one's hydrolyzed, but is it really broken down with the enzymes into bioactive peptides? So you can like throw that back at them too, okay? All right. Thank you very much.